What if the blood test you're counting on to protect your health is lying to you? Not because the lab made a mistake, but because you did without even knowing it. Picture this: you're sitting in a sterile doctor's office, your heart racing, as your physician frowns at a report and says, "This doesn't look good. Your kidneys, they are failing." Your stomach drops. You're 65, vibrant, still dreaming of hiking with your grandkids, traveling to that bucket list destination, or simply enjoying a morning coffee without worrying about your next doctor's visit. But now, you're staring down a diagnosis that could change everything. Except, what if it's not true? What if a simple slip-up like eating a cookie, skipping water, or even wearing the wrong shirt threw off your results? I'm Dr. Thomas, a physician with 30 years of experience in medicine, psychology, and human health, and I've seen this nightmare play out far too often. Welcome to Living Fully After 50, where we're all about empowering you to thrive in your golden years. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the 10 devastating mistakes senior women make before blood tests, mistakes that could cost you your peace of mind, your health, or even your dreams. And trust me, number 7 will shock you with something even some doctors miss. So, grab a cozy seat, maybe a glass of water, we'll talk about why that matters, and let's dive into this life-changing conversation. If you've ever felt blindsided by a blood test result, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to join our Living Fully After 50 family. Let's get started. The stakes: why blood tests matter more than ever after 50. Before we jump into the mistakes, let's talk about why this matters so much. As women over 50, you're not just living, you're thriving. You're chasing dreams you put on hold for years. Maybe it's dancing at your granddaughter's wedding, starting that garden you always wanted, or finally taking that trip to Paris. But your health is the foundation of those dreams. Blood tests are like a window into your body, showing you and your doctor what's working, what's not, and what needs attention. They are supposed to catch issues early: high cholesterol, diabetes, thyroid problems, so you can keep living fully. But here's the gut punch: if you make one of these 10 mistakes, that window gets foggy. Your results might scream problem when there's none, or worse, hide a real issue until it's too late. I've seen women like you, strong, smart, determined, thrown into a tailspin by inaccurate results, facing unnecessary tests, medications, or even surgeries. As Maya Angelou once said, "When you know better, you do better." Today, I'm here to help you know better, so you can live better. Let's uncover these mistakes and make sure your next blood test tells the truth. Mistake 1: fasting fumbles that derail your results. Let's start with a mistake that sounds simple but trips up so many: fasting. Certain blood tests, like those for blood sugar, cholesterol, or triglycerides, require you to fast for 8 to 12 hours, meaning no food or drink except water. Easy, right? Not so fast. Life after 50 is a whirlwind. You're juggling doctor's appointments, maybe caring for a spouse or grandkids, and it's easy to slip up. I had a patient, Ellen, a 62-year-old retired teacher with a smile that could light up a room. She was diligent about her health, but one morning, rushing to the lab, she grabbed a granola bar on her way out the door. "It's just a little snack," she thought. But that snack sent her blood sugar results skyrocketing, making her doctor suspect diabetes. Ellen spent weeks in a panic, imagining a future of insulin shots and restricted diets, until we retested her properly. The relief in her eyes when her results came back normal, it's a moment I'll never forget. But here's the flip side. Some women, trying to be extra cautious, fast too long 14, 16, even 18 hours. I had another patient, Carol, a 68-year-old who thought more fasting equals better results. She skipped dinner and breakfast, only to show up at the lab feeling faint. Her cortisol levels were elevated, her electrolytes were off, and her kidney function looked concerning, all because her body was stressed from overfasting. As Benjamin Franklin wisely said, moderation in all things. The sweet spot is 8 to 12 hours of fasting, with only water. No coffee, no tea, no just a sip of juice. Before your test, call your doctor or lab and ask, does this test require fasting? If it does, set a timer on your phone to keep you on track. Your dreams of a healthy, vibrant life depend on getting this right. Mistake 2. The hidden danger of medications and supplements. Now, let's talk about something sneaky: medications and supplements. You're proactive about your health, maybe taking a multivitamin, a supplement for your joints, or something for your hair and nails. But here's the shocker: even harmless supplements can sabotage your blood test results. Take biotin, for example, those popular hair, skin, and nails pills. Biotin can mess with thyroid tests, making it look like you have hypothyroidism or that your medication isn't working. I had a patient, Diane, a 66-year-old artist who loved her vibrant curls. She was taking high-dose biotin to keep them strong, but her thyroid results came back alarming. Her doctor was ready to adjust her medication, but I asked, "Diane, are you taking any supplements?" When she mentioned biotin, we paused it for 48 hours, retested, and her thyroid was fine. The relief on her face was priceless. It's not just biotin. Ibuprofen can skew kidney function tests. Steroids can spike blood sugar or white blood cell counts. Diuretics can throw off electrolytes like potassium or sodium. Even vitamin D or calcium supplements can falsely elevate calcium levels if taken too close to the test. The problem? Many women don't think to mention supplements to their doctor or the lab. You might think, it's just a vitamin, not a drug. But your body doesn't see the difference. Everything you swallow affects your blood chemistry. I remember another patient, Susan, a 70-year-old who loved her herbal teas. She didn't mention them because she thought they were natural. But one of her teas had licorice root, which spiked her blood pressure readings, leading to a cascade of worry and tests. Here's what I tell every patient: make a list. Write down every medication, supplement, vitamin, powder, tea, or even essential oil you take. Share it with your doctor and the phlebotomist. Some supplements, like biotin, may need to be paused 24 to 72 hours before the test, but always check with your doctor first. Don't assume. As Oprah Winfrey once said, you are responsible for the energy you bring to your life. Take responsibility for your blood test results by being transparent about what you're taking. It's a small step that can save you from big worries. Mistake 3. Dehydration, the silent saboteur. Let's paint a picture. It's 7 a.m. You're at the lab, fasting as instructed. The nurse ties the tourniquet around your arm, searches for a vein, and nothing. She tries the other arm, pats your hand, maybe even warms your skin. Still no luck. You're dehydrated, and it's not just making the blood draw a hassle, it's messing with your results. As we age, our thirst signals weaken, and our skin and veins lose elasticity, making it harder for phlebotomists to find a vein. But here's the bigger issue. Dehydration concentrates your blood, falsely elevating markers like hemoglobin, hematocrit, or creatinine. This can make your kidneys or blood counts look worse than they are, sending you into a spiral of unnecessary worry. I had a patient, Linda, a 71-year-old who loved her morning walks. She showed up for her blood test dehydrated because she thought fasting meant no water. Her kidney function tests came back alarming, and she was terrified she was facing dialysis. I sat her down, explained the dehydration effect, and had her drink water before her next test. The results? Perfectly normal. Her dream of staying active and independent was back on track. The fix is simple, unless your doctor explicitly says otherwise, which is rare. Drink 1 to 2 glasses of water about an hour before your test. Not too much, you don't want to overfill your bladder, but enough to hydrate your system and plump up your veins. As the Dalai Lama said, the greatest degree of inner tranquility comes from the development of love and compassion. Show your body some compassion with a glass of water. It's a small act that can protect your health and your dreams. Mistake 4. The exercise trap you didn't see coming. Exercise is your superpower, especially after 50. It keeps your heart strong, your mood lifted, and your body ready for those adventures you're dreaming of. But here's a twist: working out too hard before a blood test can backfire. Strenuous exercise like weightlifting, spin class, or a long hike causes tiny muscle tears, which is normal for building strength. But it also raises blood markers like creatine kinase, CK, liver enzymes, or lactate dehydrogenase, LDH. If your doctor is testing for liver, heart, or muscle issues, these elevated markers can raise false alarms, leading to unnecessary tests or even medications. I'll never forget my patient, Margaret, a 69-year-old who loved her Zumba classes. She did an intense session the day before her blood test, and her liver enzymes came back elevated. Her doctor ordered an ultrasound, and Margaret was convinced she had a serious liver condition. The weeks of waiting were torture. She stopped dancing, fearing she was too sick. We retested after 48 hours of lighter activity, and her results were normal. She was back on the dance floor the next week, beaming. The lesson: stick to gentle activities like walking, yoga, or stretching for 24 to 48 hours before your test. Save the heavy workouts for after. As Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. Avoiding this mistake is entirely possible, and it keeps your health dreams alive. Mistake 5: letting stress steal your results. Here's something you won't find in the lab's prep instructions: your emotional state can sabotage your blood test. If you rush into the lab stressed, late, or anxious about the needle, your body flips into fight or flight mode. Adrenaline and cortisol surge, which can spike your blood sugar, tweak your blood pressure, shift your white blood cell count, or even mess with thyroid levels. I had a patient, Evelyn, a 67-year-old who hated needles. She arrived at the lab frazzled after a stressful morning, and her cortisol and blood sugar levels were through the roof. Her doctor thought she might have an adrenal issue, but it was just stress. A week later, in a calm state, her results were normal. Stress isn't just a feeling, it's a chemical reaction in your body, and it can lie to your blood test. I tell my patients to treat their blood test like a sacred ritual. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Sit quietly, take deep breaths, maybe visualize that dream trip to Italy. Don't scroll through health horror stories on your phone. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. Face your blood test with calm confidence, and your results will reflect the real you, not a stressed out version. Mistake 6: assuming all tests are the same. Here's a mistake that catches even the savviest women off guard: assuming all blood tests follow the same rules. Some tests, like fasting glucose or lipids, require fasting. Others, like cortisol or thyroid, need to be done at specific times, usually early morning. Iron tests can be skewed by supplements, and hormone tests need context about menopause or HRT. If you don't clarify the prep, you could fast when you don't need to or skip fasting when it's critical, leading to useless results. I had a patient, Sarah, a 64-year-old who loved her morning routine of tea and yoga. She was tested for cortisol in the afternoon, when levels naturally drop, and her results suggested an adrenal problem. She was terrified, thinking her dreams of staying active were slipping away. We retested in the morning, and everything was fine. The fix: before your appointment, call your doctor or lab and ask, are there any special instructions for these tests? It's a 1-minute call that can save you weeks of worry. As Maya Angelou said, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Don't let unclear instructions reduce your confidence in your health. Mistake 7: the nightcap that betrays you. I know, I know a glass of wine with dinner is a small joy, especially after 50. It's your moment to unwind, maybe share a laugh with your partner or friends. But here's the bombshell. Even one glass of wine the night before your blood test can throw your results into chaos. Alcohol can raise triglycerides, elevate liver enzymes, dehydrate you, or lower blood sugar, especially if you're on diabetes medications. I had a patient, Patricia, a 70-year-old who cherished her nightly Chardonnay. Her liver function tests came back elevated, triggering an ultrasound and weeks of anxiety. She thought her dreams of traveling with her book club were over. We retested after 48 hours without alcohol, and her results were normal. The stakes are high, ladies. That glass of wine could make your doctor think you have liver damage or metabolic issues, leading to tests and treatments you don't need. My advice? Skip alcohol for at least 24 hours before your test, ideally 48. It's a small price to pay for results that reflect your true health. As C.S. Lewis said, you don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. Honor your body by keeping it clear for your blood test, so you can keep chasing your soul's dreams. Mistake 8. Dressing for style, not success. This one might make you chuckle, but it's a real issue. Showing up to your blood test in a tight sweater, layered turtleneck, or a blouse with fussy buttons can turn a simple draw into a stressful ordeal. I've seen women struggle to roll up tight sleeves, cutting off circulation, or even have to undress in a cramped phlebotomy chair. It delays the process, spikes your anxiety, and can limit which arm the phlebotomist can use. I had a patient, Dorothy, a 68-year-old who loved her stylish cardigans. She wore one with tight cuffs to her blood test, and the nurse struggled to find a vein. Dorothy ended up with multiple pokes and a bruised arm, which shook her confidence. The fix? Wear a loose, short-sleeved top, or a cardigan that opens easily. Comfortable clothing means a smoother draw and less stress. As Coco Chanel said, simplicity is the keynote of all true elegance. Keep it simple for your blood test, and you'll feel elegant and empowered. Mistake 9. Hiding your hormonal truth. Here's a mistake that even some doctors overlook: not sharing your hormonal status. If you're postmenopausal or on hormone replacement therapy, HRT, it can affect your cholesterol, thyroid, or hormone test results. Estrogen can raise HDL, good cholesterol, and lower LDL, which is great, but if the lab doesn't know you're on HRT, your doctor might misinterpret your results. FSH and LH levels mean different things depending on whether you're on hormones, and even thyroid tests can be skewed by estrogen. I had a patient, Barbara, a 66-year-old who loved her active lifestyle. Her estrogen levels came back abnormal, and she was referred to an endocrinologist. Turns out, she was wearing an estrogen patch during the test, and no one asked. She was terrified her dreams of staying fit were in jeopardy. Always tell your doctor and the lab if you're postmenopausal, on HRT, or recently stopped it. Even if it feels irrelevant, it's critical context. As Brené Brown said, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. Be vulnerable with your medical team, it could change your health journey. Mistake 10. Leaving too soon, missing the mark. You've made it through the blood draw, hallelujah. But don't race out the door just yet. Too many women leave without confirming critical details. Were the right tests ordered? Did they draw enough blood? Are the vials labeled correctly? How and when will you get your results? I've seen mislabeled samples cause serious mix-ups, and insufficient blood volume can mean a trip back to the lab. Plus, if you're prone to dizziness or low blood pressure common after 50, standing up too fast can leave you woozy. I had a patient, Joan, a 72-year-old who loved her garden. She rushed out after a fasting blood draw, only to faint in the parking lot. She was fine, but it was a scary wake-up call. Take a moment to sit, sip some water, and ask the staff, did you get everything you need? How do I get my results? If you feel lightheaded, let them know. As John Wooden said, success is never final, failure is never fatal. It's courage that counts. Have the courage to double check, and you'll set yourself up for success. The climax, a near miss that changed everything. Let me share one more story, because this one ties it all together. I had a patient, Ruth, a 69-year-old who dreamed of taking her grandkids to Disney World. She went for a routine blood test, but she made several of these mistakes. She drank coffee with cream, forgot to mention her supplements, and showed up stressed after a fight with her insurance company. Her results were a disaster: high blood sugar, elevated liver enzymes, and abnormal thyroid levels. Her doctor suspected diabetes, liver disease, and a thyroid disorder. Ruth was devastated, thinking her Disney dream was over. She called me in tears, saying, "Dr. Thomas, I just wanted to make memories with my grandkids." We sat down, reviewed her prep, and retested her properly, fasting correctly, pausing supplements, and arriving calm. The results? Completely normal. Ruth was back to planning her Disney trip, her smile brighter than ever. That was her turning point, the moment she realized she could take control of her health by avoiding these mistakes. And that's what I want for you. Your dreams, whether it's Disney, a new hobby, or simply feeling strong and vibrant, are within reach. But you have to get these blood tests right. Conclusion: your health, your legacy. Ladies, you're not just living after 50, you're thriving. You're chasing dreams, making memories, and building a legacy for those you love. Your blood tests are your roadmap, guiding you toward a life of vitality and joy. But a single mistake, fasting wrong, missing a supplement, letting stress take over, can send you down the wrong path, stealing your peace and your dreams. Today, we've uncovered the 10 mistakes that could sabotage your results: improper fasting, hidden medications, dehydration, overexercising, stress, unclear test prep, alcohol, poor clothing choices, undisclosed hormones, and rushing out too soon. Each one is a trap, but each one is avoidable. Here's my challenge to you: make a checklist before your next blood test. Confirm fasting rules. List your medications and supplements. Drink water. Keep exercise light. Stay calm. Ask questions. Skip the wine. Dress smartly. Share your hormonal status. Double check everything. As Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Make your health a daring adventure by getting these tests right. For our Living Fully After 50 community, this is about more than blood tests. It's about claiming the life you deserve. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button, share it with a friend who's got a blood test coming up, and subscribe to join us on this journey. Drop a comment below. Have you ever had a blood test result that confused or scared you? Let's talk about it. Here's to your health, your dreams, and living fully after 50. I'll see you in the next video.